So I asked content creator Brap podcast, I said, hey, Brap, have you seen this video? He said, well, I don't necessarily remember having seen the video. And I think a lot of what I'm going to position here might be surprising at the end of the day, because content creator D-Batch finally said that he is done, and I can keep thinking that the sky is green if I want to. Well, shout out to you, D-Batch, but I hope you get some rest, because you had to do a lot of heavy lifting here. You're the one who built the very expensive PC that you used to body your own argument. You're the one who presented multiple points, bodying your argument at many fronts. And I haven't even positioned in front of everybody half of the things that you've said. So I've let you do all the talking. I've let you do all the building. I've let you do all the proving. And you still proved me correct. And I employed you to debate you, and you won. It's crazy how that all happened. So, Brap, to go back to the conversation where I asked you if you'd seen this particular video, and I know you made some comments here under this thread. You said the Xbox Rogue Ally X does not contain native Xbox hardware or components. And so that was quite surprising to me, because native Xbox components are actually AMD components. So when you said you hadn't seen the video, I was like, oh, it appears that there are a lot of people who probably don't know. Now, D-Batch is not among them. He can't be among them because he knows he's got a ASUS TUF 5090, and he swears it's an NVIDIA card. He also has an ASUS TUF motherboard, and he says it's also an AMD motherboard. So he knows that you can have this kind of a blending and a merging together. But in your case, what I want to do is I want to actually show you some of what has been said by the design teams on here. This is a comment that you're going to get from the Rogue guys, and then you're going to hear the AMD guys also talk about this device, which AMD makes the components, which you've claimed are native to the Xbox. They make the components in the Xbox and the PlayStation. So let's start with what these Rogue guys say. And I don't know if this might shock you, but see what it is.
They provided so much feedback with our first rendition of Ally.
We realized there are so many things that our community can tell us that we can do a better job.
It came down to the fact that these devices were not really truly gaming-oriented devices, the way we think about consoles and Xbox.
Okay, so the feedback they got from the first Rogue Ally is what they're looking at to then go for this particular device, right? So listen.
Hey, let's have Microsoft come in and revamp the software on this, turn it into an Xbox without getting rid of everything that makes Windows great. Let's turn this into a console worthy of the name console, worthy of the name Xbox.
Did you hear what he said? Did you hear what this gentleman from Rogue said? He said, and I'm going to play it again for you. You go ahead and listen for yourself.
Let's have Microsoft come in and revamp the software on this, turn it into an Xbox without getting rid of everything that makes Windows great. Let's turn this into a console worthy of the name console, worthy of the name Xbox.
That was the...
So D-Batch, I told you when you said that me calling the Rogue Xbox Ally X a handheld console PC was incorrect. Do you remember my response to you? I said, I'm not the one that's calling it that. It's ASUS and Xbox that are calling it that. In fact, the guy from Rogue wanted them to come in and make it an Xbox. Are you seeing this intricate blending that's going on between these two devices? Now, let me go ahead and take you to the AMD team and how they also contributed into this, because people are saying it doesn't have native Xbox this, doesn't have native Xbox that. It's not the Xbox OS, which is Windows. It's not the this. But everything that you're saying is it's not. It actually is, but it seems that nobody is actually paying attention to what the designers and engineers are saying. This is what makes it a little bit challenging to have this conversation. Let's dive in.
Xbox Ally X is really designed for the most demanding players who want a premium experience, including the highest resolutions, the highest fidelity, and the highest frame rates.
The Xbox Ally X is really for someone that is seeking that next level of gaming.
This is your absolute behemoth. All the bells and whistles. You've
Just let them go through this, okay? There's some context here. Let's keep going.
maxed out your storage, the performance of the product and the chip.
The Ryzen AI Z2 Extreme is the absolute best in terms of handheld processors that you can have today.
The industry-leading AI engine in your handheld device. Inconceivable even 3 years ago.
Do y'all know who this is? Brap, D-Batch. Every single person that has been talking about this device, do you know who this is? This is Jack Hune of AMD. Jack Hune of AMD is talking here, and I'll play the rest of it, of their collaborative work on bringing their Ryzen AI chip to this device. Jack Hune is also seen here in this photograph. Let me go ahead and show you. With Mark Cerny as they talk about their collaborative effort on Project Amethyst, an engineering effort between PlayStation and AMD focused on machine learning driven graphics and gameplay innovations built around two core goals: designing an architecture optimized specifically for machine learning workloads in gaming, developing high-quality neural networks, and push the boundaries of real-time game graphics. How can you have Jack Hune, a contributor into this device, the Rogue team, actually referring to this as an Xbox, a console, the Xbox team referring to it as a PC with Windows, and when I said that it's a handheld console PC as the Rogue team had tagged their Rogue Ally X, you said I was incorrect. I'm going to now, like I said, I'm going to 50 video this video because this is the most important video that it seems like the Xbox detractors have not yet watched.
We have integrated in the power of AI experiences in ways that haven't even been imagined.
That means for the players, it's easier to enjoy, easier to start, and having help, AI is a companion for players.
Think of all the use cases that would blend AI-based audio, AI-based gaming assisting functions, AI-based rendering capabilities.
We wanted to build a handheld that can play the latest AAA games. I'm super.
Did he say we wanted to build? like bro came in, like big bro, you know. Jack Hune is big bro. He came in and said we wanted to build. It takes me back to your comment where you said the Xbox Rogue Ally does not contain native Xbox hardware or components. The hardware or components inside of an Xbox and a PlayStation are AMD devices. D-Batch, I told you you cannot laugh your way out of this one. There is no going anywhere with this particular paradigm because, again, the information is all here. And can you imagine if I have to ignore Jack Hune, if I have to ignore Mr. Nussbaum, I have to ignore the engineers at Rogue, I have to ignore the programmers and the developers at Microsoft to then take your mischaracterization of a device that they made. Every single one of them is talking about how they made. We wanted to make a. This was a collaborative effort among these guys. They even had a prototype. You know what? Let me play a little bit more because I made a long form video of this, but I thought a short form to address these specific claims was in order.
We're excited. We've done something really, really good together.
A perfect blend of performance, power efficiency, functionality, and amazingly, this is just the beginning.
Wow. Are y'all seeing it? Once again, let's listen to what the Xbox teams are saying.
Was the Xbox button that you see on an Xbox controller.
When we were talking to the designers at ASUS, they were basically saying, well, our products, they're not round, they're angular chisels and angles. And so this is the new Xbox button shape.
To place the Xbox Nexus on the rhombus is such a beautiful representation of the marriage of the precision, the robustness of ASUS's design, and the power of Xbox.
I have to say this. When Mrs. Laura Fryer made that video and said it just was a device that had a coat of Xbox on it, I don't necessarily think that this video was taken into consideration. I have a lot of respect for, her work, but I strongly believe that this is the missing piece as to what a lot of people are misconstruing, and the information is sitting right here. To a shameful 939,000 views, by the way. It should have at least 4 million views so that we can all know what's going on. But carry on, Mrs. Bond.
Something that I think is really cool is we have a micro texture, which is that little Easter egg that starts to hint to the partnership between ASUS and Xbox.
So it's an Xbox and a Rogue. D-Batch. It's an Xbox and a Rogue, just like your ASUS Tough motherboard. Right? That's both. That's both an ASUS motherboard and an AMD motherboard. You see, you keep insulting, and as I'm speaking, guys, this was put up just a few minutes ago. Like, he keeps insulting people as if to say he can insult his way out of this trap that he's put himself in and built. He's built a fortress of intellectual block around himself, by himself, and bodied his own arguments in there, and we just happen to have front row seats to watch this happen. Look at this. He's talking about software. Like PlayStation sits there and carves out the hardware themselves. Like I just showed you all, Jack Hune and the AMD team that works on primarily building the hardware for PlayStation and Xbox. And there they are with Rogue, Xbox, and ASUS's team and Xbox's team coming in and having this collaborative effort. And now somehow we have to listen to y'all. Well, you see why it's hard for us to actually listen to you, right? Because, D-Bot, you told me the experts had spoken on Digital Foundry. I mean, no offense to the guys at Digital Foundry, but in regard to a product and who developed and who designed it, I'd rather defer to the engineers and the designers, just as they defer to the engineer and designer and the PS5 Pro, Mark Cerny, right? Do you remember? They got to interview him. So why can we not defer to these guys and it's convenient for them to do so? There is no world where any of you win this argument. You're not even making an argument. There's no world. I'm telling you, you are locked on every single front. None of you have been even able to squeeze out. It's just crazy. Let's keep listening, though.
It is the best of Xbox. It is the best of Windows. Working with ASUS and creating something specifically designed to help gamers have the experience that they have so long dreamt of.
Until now, the experience that you could have on the go was just not even remotely close to the experience that you could have playing games at home.
You look at this device in your hand and you're just blown away. How did we put this incredibly high-end console into a handheld?
I think once people hold...
Brap, did you hear her call it a console? Did you hear... What is her name?
You could have playing games at home.
You look at this device in your hand and you're just blown away.
She was shown at the beginning of the video, so her name was actually mentioned, and she is on the Xbox side.
How did we put this incredibly high-end console into a handheld?
I think once people hold it...
Again, I am not going to be at fault if I were to defer to the engineers and the designers and the developers of the device, as Digital Foundry deferred to the engineer and designer of the PlayStation 5. Am I doing anything wrong in doing that? Or is this like an Xbox tax thing where it's convenient if anybody else were to defer to the subject matter experts and everybody would say, ho-hum, that's true. But then when you defer to the subject matter experts, they want to say that you're crazy or you're believing some hype marketing. That's why I was so shocked when I told you, I said it was quite shocking to see Richard Ledbetter go ahead and make this similar kind of error that he made before. It's the weirdest thing ever. Look, I was so surprised. Look at the video clip. And they're over there celebrating it as if to say, oh my gosh. And y'all remember the gentleman on the bottom right corner. Do y'all remember when the PS5 Pro came out? He was able to basically have a conversation with Mark Cerny. Do you guys not remember that? He was able to hear from the engineer of the device. Now here we are hearing from the engineers of this device, and it's an entirely different standard. It's an entirely different standard. I think that this is malice. I can safely presume with a high level of certainty that this is malice. That's my conclusion so far.
In their hands for the first time, they're going to be sold. Instant on, get right into your game. It feels like everything you wanted a handheld to be, but it wasn't quite getting there. This is it.
When you boot up your Xbox Ally, it's going to boot into the Xbox experience.
We're turning off the desktop and other processes to optimize for gaming. That lets you have all of this memory back that can go just towards your games.
I don't have to think about Windows. All I have to think about is my game and being focused on my game and how I'm gonna get my highest score, how I'm gonna be able to complete that level. Those are right there for me.
You're just one button press away from getting your game bar that allows you to access various functionalities, utilities, and settings.
Game bar is going to bring all of this fantastic utility there for you. You'll be able to, see the performance of the games. You'll be able to send messages to your friends.
Your most recently used games, connecting to a Wi-Fi network, or changing the volume.
If I wanted to bring some app experiences thanks to the game bar, like Discord and stuff, I don't have to leave my gaming experience.
We've made it really fast.
See, we all know what we know, guys. Okay? But I've said this. There are people who want to make an informed decision. They want to make a decision that is based on the facts, what is available out there. And you have all of these folk basically sowing seeds of discord into this whole paradigm. And they cannot be allowed to just walk away. You have to call them back and say, come on. Be honest with us. Be honest with us. Talk to me in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Peace out.